really, most of us already know we stress eat. We know that if we can somehow just reduce that stress, we will reduce our stress eating, right? It's how to do it. That's the problem. And that's what this video is about, is how to reduce the stress that makes us fat and then fatter. But first, let me introduce myself. Hi, I'm Jason Stanley, a social research scientist focusing on field research and clinical trials on obesity. Now, I'm here to help you understand and heal that unrelenting urge to eat when you're not hungry and way past when you're full. We call that urge the food monster. Now, I suffered from yo-yo overweight and obesity for decades, which means really, truly, honestly, genuinely, I've been where you are now. And my job here is giving you freedom from your food monster. This channel is about how to heal your food monster. However, this video is not about how to heal that food monster, but rather it's about setting the stage to help make the journey as comfortable as possible. And hopefully, probably, have some nice early successes along the way. Now, in the introduction, I said that stress triggers you to emotionally comfort eat. We've gone over that before. And if we can reduce the stress and reduce the trigger, and you have some temporary improvement, that's always helpful, right? Any kind of improvement, any successes feel great. And also kind of, improves daily life if we can do that. Well, I've got good news and bad news on this whole front of stress reduction, and our whole issue with chronic weight gain, chronic obesity. So the bad news first. There is genuinely no effort-free magic pill or shot for permanent healing. That's all there is. Now, that's nothing new. That you knew that was coming. You expected it. There are things that are good. So the good news is, while there's no effective replacement for digging into the neuroplasticity of healing your lifelong urge to overeat, there is an effective first aid that can have long-lasting positive impact. Think of it kind of as the emergency room treatment for weight gain resistance. How do we kind of give ourselves a little bit of space on this weight gain issue? So we're going to start today with the 4 C's of stress reduction by Elizabeth Resnick. But stick around. After the 4 C's, I'm going to end up the video with the introduction to a woman who can supercharge all of your stress reduction efforts. Back to Elizabeth. Who is Elizabeth Resnick? She's a 58-year-old woman in great shape. We all wish we could be in good shape as she is. On her YouTube channel, it says that she's a double certified health and weight loss coach. Sounds promising, right? But I've talked to her a couple of times, and I need to let you know right off the top, generally you, that would be us, we are not her primary audience. She focuses on women who have never struggled with obesity. That doesn't make her wrong on this issue of stress. It just means that in general, her focus is going to be on those people who have gained a little weight. They're in their 30s, 40s, maybe 50s. They're 10 or 15, maybe even 20 pounds heavier than they would like to be. And she helps them reduce that kind of weight and keep it off and get healthy and in good shape. But again, like I said, that doesn't make this wrong. And in fact, it's quite helpful. So the 4 C's are connect, contribute to others, cope, and cook. Kind of think of it this way. Using the 4 C's, we build a soothing shelter in the midst of the storm, in the midst of your compulsive eating storm. Now, the shelter doesn't make the blizzard go away. I know this because I have a log cabin up in the mountains of Montana where we have blizzards. But it sure makes that blizzard a lot less threatening and much easier to cope with. So let's look at what she tells us with purposeful, permanent stress relief. Number one is connect, and she adds to it, to yourself. In other words, get in touch with who you are. What are your common stress reducers? What works for you? She points out a way to kind of check in here is when you're stressed, you can feel your blood pressure going up. Now, once your blood pressure starts going up, it's impossible to just say, okay, blood, calm down. It doesn't work. It simply doesn't work that way. So she gives us a couple of things to kind of help bring that pressure down, calm things down. First on our list is meditate to calm the autonomic system. So if you can meditate, that blood pressure will come down, your heart rate will come down. Things, oh, okay, that's all true. It's all valuable. And I've got to say, really? Not the science, but really meditate? Here's been my story. I tried for years. I tried in the church. I tried out of the church. I joined meditation groups. I took meditation classes, and I even bought meditation books. I mean, I genuinely wanted to get not only the experience, the spiritual experience, and I wanted the health benefits. And you are looking at a meditation failure. I just have too much of a monkey mind that just goes on and on and on. A few of the people I've known over the years are really good at it, but most of us simply can never master genuine meditation. Some other suggestions that Elizabeth gives us is go for a walk. Get into the outdoors. Now, the outdoors can just simply be your backyard where there are trees around. Science is real clear on this one, and I know it works on me. I go outside. I have a lovely front yard now, and there's lots and lots of trees where I live, and it calms me down. Great. Exercise. We know that exercise, just moving your body, taking a sauna or going for a short walk, those things, again, calm the body. And when the body calms down, the autonomic system works and your blood pressure comes down. Now, all of this is great advice. And as you talk to the people who say, yeah, I love to go to walks. I don't like it, but I love to sit out on the patio. Find out what works for you. Now, all of these things are great advice if your life allows it. Now, the rest of us, it may not be easy for you to walk out. You may be at work. Situation is such that you might live in all kinds of things, whatever the imagination can come up with, why that doesn't apply to you, why you can't meditate, you can't take the 30 minutes to do a deep meditation, you can't take the 15 minutes to go for a walk, etc. Go for the gym, you can't do it. This is a scenario that just kind of paints the picture. Let's say it's 2:15, 2:15 in the afternoon. You have about 5 hours worth of work you got to get done before you leave today, but you have to leave at 3:30. That's an hour, 15 minutes. And why? Because you have to pick up the kids at school no later than 4:15. That's a 45 minutes, and you've got about a zero buffet in that. There's no room to wiggle. Stress. Fortunately, there are two very useful techniques that are available just about anywhere at any time. Now I'm going to show you how. Hang on, I'll show you how. But both of these are private and can be done incognito. Breath work and a very specific havening technique. So we've got two. One is breath work and this havening technique. Let's start with breath work. Elizabeth told us when you're getting stressed, you can feel the blood pressure going up, and telling it to go down is whistling in the wind. It doesn't do anything. Now, when we talk about breath work, it kind of sounds ominous, like, ooh, ooh, ooh. No, it's easy. It can be very, very simple. There are dozens and dozens and dozens of great videos. Wim Hoffman and James Nestor are two very popular gurus, and they really put out good videos explaining stuff. Now, out of all of that, in a day-to-day living situation, my favorite is box breathing. It's easy to do, and it's incognito. Unless you're actually talking to somebody, you're just breathing. And nobody can notice if you're doing this. The way it works is you breathe in slowly, so slow, just slow your breath down. Even if you're nervous and even if your blood pressure, you can just breathe in as slowly as you comfortably can. Don't make it a job, just breathe in slowly. And when you get to the top of your breath, hold your breath, and it can be for as little as 1 or 2 seconds, 1, 2, and then start releasing. You will be surprised at how quickly you can work up to 4 or 5 seconds. Draw the breath in, hold, 1, 2, 3. Oh my goodness, is 5 ever going to get here? Yeah, it will. And then start calmly but slowly letting the breath back out. And when you get to the bottom of your breath, hold again. Yes, you can hold your breath at the bottom of your breath. All the air is gone. If you've never done it, it's going to feel strange, but that strangeness will go away quickly. So that's box breathing. In slow, hold for what's comfortable. Out slowly, hold for what's comfortable. The science is 100% clear. If you slow your breath down, and box breathing is a really easy way to do this, when you bring this breath down, no matter what you do, how you do it, whatever technique, you bring your breath down to a slower pace, your heart automatically follows. So slowing this down, a little bit of box breathing, a minute or two, and your heart starts beating slower. It will slow down. And as your heart beats slower, well, then your blood pressure comes down. And as your blood pressure comes down, the cortisol comes down, and you wind up being relaxed. Amazing. Just this very, very simple technique. Now, the other one that works real, real well here, common havening technique. Now, for those of you who have followed the channel and watched every video, you've seen a bit about havening before, but I'm going to assume most people are new. So let me tell you what havening is. It's a therapy procedure. It's a scientifically based therapy procedure that works with the brain, and it has a number of components. One of those components is touch, and you work with yourself, you just do it to yourself, or your therapist can stimulate very specific skin. When this skin is stimulated, it creates a delta wave in the brain. Now, delta wave is not woo-woo. This is, again, science, hard science. This was discovered by putting vibrating pads on all of the skin, all over the whole body, and running an EEG on the brain to see what the brain waves were. And it was discovered and repeatable. Anybody can do this, that if you stimulate the skin on the forehead and on the cheeks above the cheekbones, so on the cheeks above the cheekbones, down the sides of the arm, and on the palm of your hand. When you do that, it creates 30 to 90 times, not percent more, but times more, 30 to 90 times more delta wave in the brain. And that's what you want, because the delta wave is the most calm brain wave we have. We go into delta every night when we sleep. When we go into our deepest sleep, the brain is in full delta, and it's the calmest time, and that's where we do a lot of healing. A lot of good stuff happens. But we can create that simply by rubbing on this. Now, back to our stress situation. Well, if you're in a conference and you're going, and I can't, you can't do this, right? I mean, you look at what's going on over there. You all right? I can see the looks. But what you can do incognito is rub your palms. Now, I'm just going to kind of caress my palm and let them go out of sight. So if I'm at a conference room or in a conference or even on a video call like this, I can be rubbing my hands, and I'm continuing to do it all the time I'm talking to you, and I'm creating delta wave, which is calming me down. And as I'm talking to you right now, as I'm doing this, I released the tension in my stomach muscles. That's a real thing. It just happened right now, and I just thought I would tell you. That's part of that calming, because you tense up as you get more nervous. Didn't even realize I tensed. So you can do this anywhere you are. Now, if you're in a situation where you're standing around and you're a little nervous, we've all been there, right? You'll see people just kind of rub their hands. And if somebody notices it, say, yeah, it just kind of feels good. Or might even say, my hands are a little chilled. I'm just kind of warming them up. Now, we do this naturally, quite naturally. You see people who are very stressed, they'll be wringing their hands, right? Well, if you're wringing your hands like I'm doing right now, of course you're touching the back of the hand, but you're touching it with the bottom of the inside, the palm. And you'll see people rub their face when they're really upset or distraught. So we kind of intuitively, our body knows to do this. This is a really great technique for connecting to yourself and understanding how you work. So hopefully you can take these two to the bank to help you calm that stress. And it's a good thing to do at work or wherever, stressed or a little high and you're wanting to snack. Just start calming. Now, there's a lot more to this technique. There's a lot more that we do. And in the Food Monster program, yeah, we really get into it. But for this video with stress, just know that's one of them. The second of the C's is contribute to others with purpose. Now, the wise people of the ages have told us, get engaged helping others. It can be as little as being a genuine, non-judging, good listener to your friends or neighbors at your own kitchen table. But if you're really listening and paying attention and listening to them, it's amazing how helpful that can be. And it takes your mind off of your stuff. So you're not saying, oh yeah, but that, and that guy or that gal. No, just listen. That is amazing to do that. Or you can take it all the way up to, to volunteering with the likes of Mother Teresa, go help the poor in Calcutta. Now, is that just me kind of yakking about it? Well, Mahatma Gandhi, who's known as a pacifist and a calm person, he said, the best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. So that is something you might expect from somebody like Mahatma Gandhi. But what about somebody who's on the other end of the spectrum? Muhammad Ali, the world heavyweight boxing champion from America. He said, service to others is the rent you pay for your room here on earth. I thought that was fascinating that a man who made millions being violent had this understanding of service to others. A dear friend of mine, Reverend Dr. PJ at Harmony Church in Fort Worth, Texas, once said to me, if you want to forget your troubles, care for someone else. We were having this conversation when she said that to me, and it was during the time that she was heavily focused on caring for her dying mother. So the first two C's, connect with yourself and contribute to others. If you feel you're getting value from these videos, please subscribe to help the channel grow. And if you want more information sooner than I put out in the weekly videos, you can go to my website, foodmonster.com. The link is in the description down below, and download your free copy of my ebook. The next two C's are cope and cook. Cope and cook? Yeah. Well, cope is the habits that we build to help us be strong and resilient in the face of stress. Sleep, mindfulness living, and exercise. Those three, according to Elizabeth, are really helpful. Sleep is the unsung hero in your good health and in your good mental health and in your stress reduction. You say you're stressed, and how can you sleep when you're stressed out? You can't even fall asleep, much less sleep through the night. And yes, of course, you can go online. There's lots of good stuff about how to do it. But I've got something that you don't have to search for, and it's one that is, again, a master secret on sleeping well throughout the night, and that is using havening technique. Now, rather than try to teach you that here, I'm going to send you to a video with a woman who shows you how to do this whole process to sleep well through the night. And it's the link is in the description. So this havening process creates the delta wave, which is the wave in the brain that you do when you are sleeping the deepest. So it is a natural lead into it. So mindfulness and exercise also bring down the cortisol, which then, of course, reduces the stress. It's a wonderful, wonderful feedback loop. Cook. What in the world does she mean by cook? Well, cook real food. Is she telling me to clean up my diet? Yes. Clean up your diet. Now, we have a lot of diet videos coming, but here's a spoiler alert. Your diet is not why you struggle with obesity. It is not the root cause. No matter what anybody wants to say about this diet, that diet, the other diet, it's not the root cause. However, what you eat has a huge secondary impact on weight gain. Going back to our 4 C's, and that is cook real food. So getting away from the junk food, getting away from the center of the store where everything is processed, getting the original real food ingredients and creating real food increases tryptophan, increases serotonin, and increases omega-3. And all of these things are known very, very well to reduce your stress. So start eating healthy food. Your body will be appreciative and your stress levels will come down. So those are the 4 C's. Now, as promised, I want to introduce you to Dr. Kate Truitt. She's a trauma specialist, a brilliant woman, a psychologist, and a certified havening practitioner. Highly recommend her YouTube channel. It's under her name, Dr. Kate Truitt, for dealing with stress and trauma. She has over 1,000 videos, and almost 300 of them are very similar on the one that's in the link, the 5-minute self-havening practice to release stress. And that one, 5 minutes, it's not very long at all. And she walks you through the havening or the whole stress reduction and box breathing as she's helping you demonstrate with the actual havening touch. Like I say, the link is in the description. So in closing here, I want to tell you that please remember, obesity is not your fault. It has never been your fault. But now, finally, you have a choice on whether to heal it or not. Check my webpage for your free ebook. Until next time, thank you for watching.